Welcome to another episode of Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here for week 4 of this 8-week season in the WATL. It's 7 weeks of regular season action, followed by, of course, the double elimination post-season tournament. It's been a thrilling start to the season thus far, and we're nearly halfway in the books. We are just about set to go here in week 4, but in case you're new to the game, Eric Schizel's going to explain more about how it all works.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. We're at Bustin Axe Throwing Range, and we've got some new rules, some updates if this is your first time for tuning in. If you'll notice, we've got a very small bullseye to start with. We shrank it from here down to the same size as the kill shot to add a 5th scoring area. So in order to score that 5 points, you must break the line in order to score any points on this board, but especially getting that 5-pointer in between 6 for the bullseye, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as you walk out. Now the other thing we've added as well is that the kill shots are now open, and what that means is during your 10 throws of gameplay, you can announce to the judge that you want to take a kill shot. You can do that 2 different times in your 10 throws, and then you have the opportunity to shoot for 8 points or hit anywhere else and you score 0. Now also a little kicker to make up points from a dropped axe. If you see someone drop an axe during gameplay and they have throws left, they can opt for a 3rd kill shot, which is something brand new. I doubt we're going to see a lot of that this year, but maybe we'll be able to make up some points that way. I know I sure love to shoot kill shots, and that's where I got my nickname from. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully we'll see you out in the lanes.
Thank you so much, Eric. We are set to go here in week 4, but before we get today's action underway, let's take a look at the standings after 3 weeks of action. No surprise to see Matt Bradshaw, the defending champion, leading the way at 12-0 on the season with an average score of 50.6 points per game. Bradshaw is followed by Casey Nines, Chris D'Onofrio, Eric Schizel, Casey Buell, Brandon Feenstra, Gina Feenstra, and Kyle Gall. We are set to go here in week 4. Let's get it on. Today's first matchup, Cody Bremeyer going head-to-head with Brandon Feenstra. Feenstra and Bremeyer, touch tips for good sportsmanship, and we are set to go. As always, I'm joined by my partner, Bobby the Blade Bradford.
Happy to be here, Joey. Really looking forward to this match. It should be a good one.
Oh, Brandon, that's a
so it looks like we've got a footfall here from Brandon Feenstra, Bobby, and what a disappointing way for him to get things started here in week 4.
Absolutely. Even in week 4 here, we still getting used to the rules a little bit.
Meanwhile, it's a 5 for Bremeyer, so a very significant lead right out of the gates. We'll see how Feenstra responds here, and he responds nicely.
Cody 4, Brandon 4.
Yeah, it's a couple of 4s there, but these are 2 newcomers to the league that have been pretty impressive and proving they belong.
Yeah, they've been off to a nice start, and this should be a good matchup if Feenstra can overcome that 0 on his first throw.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of drops out of Cody, but anything can happen when you're throwing axes.
Absolutely. And then obviously you've always got the option to go for the kill shot. Perhaps that's something that Feenstra will try and take advantage of if he can't get back in it in the rings.
Ooh, that's a nice throw there by Cody. Yeah, going for the kill shot, though, I think is something we're going to see more and more as the season goes on.
So Bremeyer extends the lead to 19-12 with our first bullseye of the day.
Another nice throw there by Cody.
Brandon 4, Cody 5.
So Bremeyer just keeps extending the lead. It's now 24-16. We're halfway home.
You want to switch sides?
Cody just missed it there. He got a little extra look there, but it was a 5.
Yeah, he's throwing very well today. And it's going to be tough at this point now for Feenstra to get back in it.
Cody 5, Brandon 3.
Also a devastating 3 there for Brandon. Really needed all the points that he can get to really kind of come back in this game.
Yeah, Bremeyer's lead now double digits, 29-19. Just 4 throws to go. Bremeyer's going to need to get hot, and he's going to need some help here. I'm sorry, Feenstra's going to have to get hot, and Brimeyer's going to need a little help.
Right, Brimeyer's been hot. But there's a 4 there, but again, capitalizing on your opponent making a mistake there. Brandon's just not capitalizing on it.
Yeah, no real mistakes yet from Brimeyer, and he's looking to close it out here with just 3 throws to go.
Another nice 5.
Brandon 4, Cody 5.
A real model of consistency here for Cody Brimeyer. This one all but in the books.
He's got an outside chance of reaching the 50 mark there.
Yeah, something we haven't seen quite as often this season with the new rules.
Yeah, with that new 5 ring, it really makes it tough to get into the 50s, get the higher scores. But we have seen it.
All right, and this is going to be your last throw. Brandon, you're at 30 points. Cody, you're at 42.
So again, this is where I think you're going to see a lot of players start to go for the kill shot as the season kind of continues on. They got to really start practicing that, and you can see the disappointment
Cody 4,
there
Brandon
in
4.
Cody. Looks like he was throwing so well that he got disappointed with the 4.
That's when you know you're on, when a
Final
4 is a
score,
disappointment.
Brandon,
Cody
34,
Brimeyer is the
44,
victor,
46.
46-34. So that 0 on his first throw because of the footfall proves to be very costly for Brandon Feenstra. The way Cody Brimeyer was throwing today, Feenstra just couldn't afford any mistakes.
Right, that foot fault to start the game really put Brandon in a hole, and just something he couldn't get out of. And you can see a lot of consistent 4s there, but really when you got to beat the best players in this league, you got to be throwing more 5s and 6s.
Yeah, you got to tip your cap to Cody Brimeyer. What a game he played here today. He's certainly a contender here in this league. He gets his 8th win of the season, improving to 8-5. Feenstra drops to 6-7. Much more Battle Axe coming up straight ahead on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here for Week 4 of this WATL Winter League action. This, of course, the encore to our Fall League action where Matt Bradshaw was crowned the champion, and Bradshaw is back again this season, looking to make it back-to-back titles. If you're new to the program and just joining us, here's how it all works. You see all of those rings there on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that middle ring is 5. The red is the bullseye, worth 6, and then there's 2 kill shots. Those small black dots, those are worth 8. We're set to go here for our second matchup. Kyle Gall is going to take on Eric Schizzle. Get your popcorn ready, Bobby the Blade.
I have my popcorn, and I'm ready for this matchup here.
Yeah, Eric, a force to be reckoned with always in this league. He's going to put his 9-3 record on the line against Kyle Gall.
Yeah, Kyle, one of our more consistent players in the league. He's prone to some drops at times, but when he's on, he can beat anybody.
As is Shizzle, we of course call him Eric the Scope Shizzle because he's just so locked in.
He's locked in, and he likes to go for those kill shots more than anybody else in the league. So
yeah, we'll see if he goes for him here today.
Kyle
so
5,
nice throw there
Eric
by
4.
Kyle to take a 9-8 lead over Eric the Scope.
Putting a little pressure on the Scope.
And again, it's one of those things we've been talking about through the first few weeks is just keeping that foot on the gas pedal. When you have that lead, you just want to keep piling on points.
What a throw there from Kyle Gall.
Kyle bullseye, Eric
So it's
4.
a bullseye for Kyle Gall, our first bullseye of this matchup. A third consecutive 4 for Shizzle. He's now in the hole, 15-12.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of 4s this year, and I'm wondering if psychologically that smaller bullseye is kind of getting in players' heads a little bit, and they're trying to be too precise and ending up with 4s instead of 5s or 6s.
Absolutely.
Kyle
Yeah, we've
4,
seen
Eric
the
4.
average scores significantly drop.
All right, and this is going to be your 5th throw. Eric, you're at 16. Kyle, you're
Matt
at
Bradshaw,
19.
the only player in this league averaging more than 50 points per game as of right now.
Well, it's a good equalizer. It makes the game a little more difficult for everybody and, more fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Kyle 4, Eric 4.
Speaking of 4s, we get a couple more of them right there, Bobby.
Right, and
and we'll have
we
you
said
switch sides.
Kyle was one of the more consistent players in the league. Eric, 5 4s to start the game, so 23-20.
We're halfway home, and Eric Shizzle's going to look to turn it up a notch here and try and get back into this one. And he's got a great opportunity here to Not only get back in it, but take the
Eric's
lead.
5,
Yeah,
Kyle
smelling
0.
blood in the water there. So Kyle with a devastating 0 there. Maybe the blade got stuck in his hand a little bit.
And Shizzle takes full advantage with a 5. He now goes from trailing by 3 to taking a 2-point advantage with 4 throws to go.
And there's definitely a little bit of luck in this game, but that's how quickly it can turn. You can be up, 3, 4, 5, and then all of a sudden one throw gets away from you. And
Eric
these competitors are so good that they can come back and really erase any deficit.
You have to wonder how much of it is the rhythm of it all and the mentality of it all, because it, of course, was when they switched sides
Right.
that one just got away from Kyle Gall.
Yeah, sometimes that that lane shift can really affect a player. We do know that they all have their favorite lanes that they like to throw on.
Eric bullseye, Kyle
So Kyle
bullseye.
Gall back into his rhythm now. He answers
Nice.
the bullseye from Shizzle with a
ninth
bullseye of his own. We've got a 5-point game, just
Eric,
2
you're at
throws to
37,
go,
Kyle,
Bobby.
you're at
Yep, and it looks
32.
like I believe Eric's calling for the kill shot.
How about that?
So right on cue.
That's why they call him the scope.
Let's see what he's got in the tank here. Lining it up.
This really could be a kill shot if he can land it.
Kyle
It's
4,
just
Eric
off the
0.
mark.
And you can see the disappointment there. It's one of the things
All
he's
right,
worked
10th
on
throw, Kyle,
all
you're at
offseason long.
36. Eric, you're at 37.
So now it's a 1-point lead for Shizzle with just 1 throw to go. It all comes down to this.
The ebbs and flows of a competitive game here. Ooh, 4 there.
It's like
So
a 4 for Gall and a dagger from
4.
Eric Shizzle.
Eric
It's a
bullseye.
bullseye for the win.
just a great
All right,
throw
Kyle,
there.
you ended with 40 points. Eric, you won 40.
Eric Shizzle with his 10th victory of the season, 43-40. Well, what a matchup this was. It all comes down to the final throw, and Eric Shizzle delivers a big-time bullseye for the win, Bobby.
Yeah, must have been something with that right-hand lane because Eric started off the game with those 5-4s and really kind of put himself behind the 8 ball against Kyle, but that 6th throw for Kyle, just devastating. Axe getting hung up in his hand a little bit. And then Eric going for that kill shot on the 9th throw, allowing Kyle to get back into the game, creating a pressured 10th throw, but hats off to Eric for coming through in the clutch.
Yeah, certainly a throw that Kyle Gall wishes he could have back. We're going to throw it down now to Big Jim Haas on his competitive nature.
I'm not too competitive. It's just wherever I get up, I get up. I don't really get into too much of upset about anything. I'm pretty mild-mannered kind of guy. I really am. I mean, I like it, but I don't really want to get myself upset about it. If I start drinking scotch, it might be a little bit different story. But no, I'm not going to drink scotch. So.
Save the scotch for the off-season. Big Jim Haas, a perfect 12-0. Now we're going to throw it down to Chris D'Onofrio for more on his preparation.
Just in here every day. Still working hard, just trying to find that consistency, paying attention to where I'm holding the handle and where my feet are, and making sure I'm lining up with the right foot and the right arm, and just keeping everything in line and trying to throw it straight. I mean,
Chris D'Onofrio, hungry here on Battle Axe. You've met the competitors. Now they're set to go head-to-head. Chris D'Onofrio set to take on an unbeaten 12-0 Big Jim Haas. Looking forward to this one. Haas and D'Onofrio touch tips for good sportsmanship. We're all set to go, Bobby the Blade.
Absolutely. Big Jim there, undefeated on the season, going up against a good competitor, though, in Chris D'Onofrio.
Yeah, D'Onofrio
Chris,
10-2
Jim
start to
Bullseye.
this season. This should be a good one.
Yeah, Chris has really thrown up some great numbers this season so far, and very competitive.
What a start here for Big Jim Haas. It's a bullseye. He's got a 1-point lead.
Yeah, Jim may say he's not competitive, but he has a desire to win, and that 12-0
Jim
record
drops,
reflects that.
Chris.
You could tell that he was very disappointed with that one.
Yep.
It couldn't stick into the board. It's a 0 for Big Jim Haas after a bullseye. Meanwhile, D'Onofrio throws a bullseye of his own, so he now has a 5-point lead.
Yeah, maybe we should have done that interview while Jim was playing the
Jim
game. Maybe there would have been a
score.
different answer there.
Might
Good
have to
bullseye.
get the bartender over here with a little scotch for Big Jim Haas. D'Onofrio with another bullseye, and that, of course, gives him a shot here at a unicorn, Bobby.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of those this year, but Chris is definitely capable of putting unicorns on the board.
Jim 5, Chris
It's off the
4.
mark. It is a 4 for Chris D'Onofrio.
All right, this is
A
your
5
fifth
for Jim
throw.
Haas.
Jim,
We've
you're
got
at
a 6-point
15. Chris, you're at
lead
21.
for D'Onofrio after 4 throws.
Yeah, nice response there by Jim to throw a 5. Chris definitely puts up great numbers, but as you can see there, the blade can get away from him a little bit.
Chris 4, Jim 4.
Jim Haas, a little disappointed there that wasn't a 5.
And we'll have you switch sides.
It's a 6-point lead for D'Onofrio. We're halfway home. They'll switch sides and get set for the second
All
half.
right, you can begin.
There's a nice throw from Big Jim Haas,
Just
Bobby.
a great throw. He's got one of those simple
And bullseye
approaches
for
to the
score.
game. He just steps there and throws it, but man, is it effective.
Yeah, you always know it's just like that. Jim Haas can go from a fall to a great throw. He can go from a 4 to a bullseye. It's just it's just inside of him. It's kind of that cool, calm, and collected attitude that he brings to the game that
Jim
allows
5,
him to
Chris
do that.
5.
Yeah, and that can, it's interesting how it affects your opponent when you're that cool and calm. Chris, we know, is a really competitive guy, so maybe he wants to see that kind of same emotion in his opponent.
Yeah, but Jim Haas will not be rattled.
Close throw there. That might be a
Jim
5.
4, Chris 5.
Yep, 5 there for Chris, so.
And of course, they call him Big Jim Haas because he's a big guy.
He's a big man. He's a big man in the league, too, so.
Yeah, you can see as he walks towards that board, he's nearly at the very top of that first ring.
But again, give credit to Chris here because he's doing a really good job of keeping the foot on the
Chris
pedal
4,
and
Jim 4.
increasing that lead against Jim there.
All right, this is your
We've got a
last
5-point
throw.
lead for
Jim, you're at
D'Onofrio.
38. Chris,
One
you're at
throw to go. We'll
43.
see if Haas gets very aggressive here and goes for a kill shot.
Oh, he's just focused in on that bullseye, but then
Jim drop, Chris
and you
5.
can see the disappointment in his eyes there.
The throw looked good, but it wouldn't stick.
All right, Jim, you ended up 38.
It's
Chris,
all
you won
over.
48
Chris
points.
D'Onofrio gets the win, 48-38. Well, what a showing here from Chris D'Onofrio, a real model of consistency. Several 5s in his round to go along with a couple of bullseyes for a 48-38 win over Big Jim Haas.
Yeah, Chris slayed the giant of Big Jim Haas and sent his record to 12-1 and 11-2 there for Chris. But yeah, Jim just couldn't get out of that second throw, that 0 that he had. And give credit to Chris, though. He did a really good job of maintaining that lead and building on it as well.
Yeah, who knows what could have been had that second and 10th throw stuck into the board there for Jim Haas, but it's a victory for Chris D'Onofrio, his 11th of the season. We've got much more Battle Axe coming up on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya, as always, at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa, here for this Winter League action in the WATL. We just saw Chris D'Onofrio defeat Big Jim Haas 48-38 in our third matchup of the day. We're going to bring you a total of 7 matchups here in Week 7, and we are just about set to go here for our 4th matchup of the day. Stephanie Prine is going to be competing. We're going to throw it down to her right now for more on her improvement from one season ago to right now.
Definitely a lot more consistent. I think when it comes to practice is consistent. Practice is definitely consistent. Lots of 4, 5s, and 6s, which is what I'm after. But I get nervous like when it's actually game time. So I think it's more of a mental game with myself rather than just trusting the muscle memory and the throws.
Consistency, the name of the game here on Battle Axe. We are just about set to go for Stephanie Prine's matchup, and we are going to bring it to you right now. She's going to go against a giant, Casey Laserwolf Nines, against Stephanie Prine.
All right, touch tips.
Prine and Nines, touch tips, and we are set to go, Bobby the Blade.
Yeah, should be a good matchup. Casey coming in at 9-3, Stephanie at 3-9.
Casey,
Good start
4,
to this one
Stephanie,
for
4.
Prine, and it's a good start for Nines as well, a couple of 4s.
Yeah, for anyone that's just tuning in for the first time, you may see like a 9-3 record versus a 3-9 and think this is kind of going to be a blowout, but it's all about those points in this league. That's what's going to
Casey,
really
4,
matter
Stephanie Bullseye.
come the 8th week double elimination tournament.
Yeah, when we get to that double elimination tournament, it's not the standings, the records that will set the field for the tournament. It's the points.
Yeah, the records will play a little bit part in it, but
Stephanie
definitely the
3,
points are
Casey
what's going to really matter the
5.
most. So that's why you don't see a lot of people going for the kill shot at this stage in the league. They want to kind of accumulate all those points to get themselves a better position.
That's the kind of insight you only get here on Battle Axe from Bobby the Blade.
I'm only here to help, Joey.
Good throw there from Laser
Stephanie
Wolf.
4, Casey bullseye.
It's a bullseye for the Wolf. His first of the day.
All right, this is your
He now
fifth
has a
throw.
2-point
Stephanie, you're
advantage
at 17.
heading
Casey,
into
you're
the
at
fifth
19.
throw.
Yeah, it's really important here for Stephanie, though, to keep up with Casey Knights. She's got to kind of match him point for point and then hope that he slips up.
Casey 5, Stephanie 5.
And she's doing a good job of hanging
wanna
around
switch
thus
sides?
far. It's just a 2-point game halfway home. They'll switch sides and get set to go here for the second half
All right, you can begin.
on Battle Axe.
So as we saw earlier with the game between Eric and Kyle, any bad throw
Casey
can really leave
5,
the door open
Stephanie
for your
4.
opponent to erase a tight deficit. So it's important for Stephanie to keep it close here against Casey Nines and be ready to capitalize on any mistakes he may make.
Absolutely. It's a 5 for 9s. He gains a point now, leading 29-26 with 4 throws to go.
Casey 5, Stephanie
Yeah, Casey just won't let up, though.
4.
Yeah, Casey Nines, not one to make many mistakes.
Well, we've talked about it before with Casey. He's one of the best in the league when he has a lead. Just keeps piling it on.
And once again, he picks up a point. He now leads by 4 with 3 throws to go.
Casey 4,
And that's
Stephanie
just a devastating
3.
throw there for Stephanie, and she knows it. She needed all the help she could get going into that 8th throw, and that 3 is just going to haunt her.
Yeah, you can see the look on her face. She knows this one is starting to slip away.
But it's important, too, to regain that focus and have nice throws going out. Again, going back to those
Stephanie.
points being really what matter the most. You still want to put up good points, even
Absolutely.
after a bad throw.
And a good throw there
All right,
from
this is going to
Prine.
be your final throw. Stephanie,
She
you're at
trails by
37.
5.
Casey, you're at
Final
42.
throw here. Perhaps Prine will go for a kill shot. Good throw there from Nines.
Casey 5, Stephanie 4.
It's a 5 for Nines. He is the victor. 47 to
Stephanie, you're at
41
41. Casey
over
won at
Stephanie
47.
Prime. Well, no surprise to see Casey Laser Wolf Nines doing what Laser Wolf does best, and that is dominating here on Battle Axe. A 47 to get a 6-point win over Stephanie Prime.
Yeah, Stephanie had a really nice start there to the match. She was keeping it close with Casey Nines, but Casey just kept building and building on that lead, and it just wears you down as a competitor.
Yeah, but this certainly nothing for Stephanie Prine to hang her head over. A 41, a nice consistent round there for her. We know better days are ahead for Stephanie Prine. She's certainly a contender in this league, and Casey Nines, one of the very best, gets his 10th win of the season. We're set to go here for our next matchup on Battle Axe. Cody Brimeyer going to take on Eric the Scope Shizzle.
All right, if you want to touch tips, you can begin the game.
So Shizzle and Brimeyer going head-to-head here on Battle Axe.
Yep, Cody again going to take on one of the old guard from the fall league here.
4.
Couple of 4s for Shizzle and Brimeyer. Shizzle bringing in a record of 10-3. Brimeyer, who we saw get a victory earlier, 8-5.
Yeah, what we've seen out of Cody to start off the season is that he is pretty even-keeled throughout the
Cody
entire
4,
match. He
Eric
doesn't seem to
4.
get too high or too low.
Yeah, certainly a guy that's not going to be intimidated by Eric the Scope Shizzle. So far, after 2 throws, we're neck and neck, tied up at 8.
Yeah, all knotted up here, and as you can see, Cody just has a simple approach, really similar to Jim Haas,
Eric
just kind of
5,
stepping up there and
Cody.
throwing it, not really overthinking it too
Bullseye.
much.
It's a bullseye for Cody Brimeyer. Didn't have to overthink that one at all. He's got a 1-point lead over Eric the Scope.
Well, axe throwing, much like golf or any kind of sport like that, it's so much of a mental game, so you can really get in your own
Eric
head and can
5,
throw you out of a
Cody.
game. So having a cool, calm, collected
5.
approach to it is very important.
Brimeyer certainly cool, calm, and collected
All
right now.
this is
He
gonna be
just
your
missed
fifth
a
throw.
bullseye.
Eric, you're at 18. Cody,
He
you're at
maintains a
19.
1-point lead.
And you can tell these two competitors, there's no jawing back and forth. They're very serious about it. And They want this W.
Another
Cody
great
5,
throw there
Eric
from
5.
Brimmeyer. Great throw from Shizzle as well. Couple of
I'm gonna have you
fives.
switch lanes.
Brimmeyer just clinging to a 1-point lead after the first half of this one.
And you can really see the progression there for Eric coming from the first match that he played with those 5-4s to start off the match. Turning up and making those 4s, 5s.
Bullseye.
So Shizzle switching sides and
Cody 4.
getting right into his groove. It's a bullseye. Meanwhile, it's a 4 for Brimmeyer. So just like that, Eric Shizzle takes his first lead of the day.
Yeah, just back and forth, I think is what we're going to be seeing here in this match. These two competitors are just going to be trading points.
Yeah, we were expecting a good one, and thus
24,
far,
Eric
this
4.
has not disappointed. Couple of 4s from Shizzle and Brimmeyer. It remains a 1-point game with just 3 throws to go. We are in store for a thrilling finish.
Yeah, you could see after that throw, Eric was a little disappointed that he couldn't capitalize on Cody throwing a 4 because he knows he needs all the points he can get.
Great
Cody
throw there from
bullseye,
Brimmeyer.
Eric
It's a
5.
bullseye and a 5 for Eric the Scope. So we are tied at 38 apiece with
38.
just 2 throws to go.
This is your 9th throw.
Yeah, you can see Eric doing the math in his head. He knows that he just gave up the lead there. And he's got to do everything he can to hold on to this.
Brimmeyer a little
24,
disappointed
Eric
with that
4.
one. It's a 4. And the
All right,
same
last
kind
throw,
of
you're tied at
disappointment from Eric the
42.
Scope. He had a chance to take the lead. Instead, he matches the 4 with a 4 of his own.
There's a little bit of the John going on.
How about, yeah.
Egging him on to go for the kill shot.
How about this now? We're tied at 42. It all comes down to one throw, Bobby.
Yeah, this is what we live for, just these exciting matchups.
Heartbreaking.
Cody 4.
Wow.
5.
Eric Shizzle with a
All right,
5
Cody,
for
you
the
ended
win.
At 46. Eric, you won.
Eric Shizzle
47.
47-46. Well, what a finish here from Eric the Scope Shizzle. And Eric Shizzle is Mr. Clutch here today, Bobby. Once again, it all came down to the final throw, and Eric Shizzle delivered for another win.
Yeah, Eric with ice in his veins throws a 5 on the 10th throw to defeat Cody Brimmeyer. And for the second time tonight, Eric wins on the final throw of the match. So it's definitely the pressure that you want to experience during league so you can get used to it and hopefully carry that over come tournament time.
Absolutely. Eric Shizzle can deliver when it matters most. We're going to throw it down now to Eric Shizzle for more on how Week 4 is going.
Didn't go as planned, that's for sure. I mean, we might have saw some wins and losses, but it was not the goal I was looking for. I was looking to hunt down every game at least 51 points, and I dropped every single one of them. I didn't make it. I might have won a couple, lost the others. You may or may not have seen them, but they still sting a little bit after a week prior. Week prior I was pulling 50, 51, 55 was my newest high score, and I was going into this week feeling pretty good. We got new wood on the walls too, brand new cottonwood from Frank's Wood Products. So I was pumped, I was excited. And then I got up, my favorite lane, that left side, and it just kept dumping 4s. It was just digging myself a hole I couldn't get out of, and here we are. So we're gonna be midweek. Week 4, halfway through, and I'm still sitting about 4th place if my calculations are correct. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we got 3 weeks left to play, a couple big tournaments coming up. So we'll see what we can do.
Eric Shizzle, such a competitor. Best of luck the rest of the way this season. We've got much more Battle Axe still to come here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. Here in Week 4, we have seen Cody Brimmeyer defeat Brandon Feenstra 46-34. We saw Eric Shizzle beat Kyle Gall 43-40. Shizzle also just beat Cody Brimmeyer 47-46. We saw Casey Laserwolf Nines defeat Stephanie Prine 47-41. And of course, earlier we saw Chris D'Onofrio defeat Big Jim Haas 48-38, handing Haas his first loss of the season. D'Onofrio off to a 10-2 start this season. We're going to throw it down now for more with D'Onofrio on his outlook the rest of the way.
I mean, I'm really hoping to stay in that top 3. I'm working hard, but then again, I also got to remember I'm still new at this. I'm still a rookie, so just putting in the time and making sure I can ground myself and put up those numbers. I'm sure I can get there, but we'll see.
Chris D'Onofrio feeling confident here with the postseason right around the corner. Chris D'Onofrio making a solid debut here on Battle Axe. Casey Laser Wolf Nines, our next competitor here on Battle Axe, and he's going to go head-to-head with D'Onofrio. This should be a good one, Bobby the Blade.
Yeah, Casey coming in at 10-3, Chris at 11-2. Both players put up a ton of points, so strap yourself in. This should be a good one.
Absolutely, and we are underway. It's a couple of 4s for Nines and D'Onofrio on their first throws.
It seems they're pretty lighthearted here to start the game. I bet as it gets a little more competitive, that'll change.
Absolutely. Great throw there from D'Onofrio.
Casey 5,
Looks like a
Chris
bullseye, and it is a bullseye for Chris D'Onofrio. He takes a 1-point lead.
Yeah, and Chris knew it was a bullseye as it left his hand. Sometimes when you're throwing that axe, you can just feel the bullseye as the axe leaves your hand.
Yeah, both of these competitors can light up that scoreboard in a hurry. We certainly expect a shootout here in this one.
5.
So a couple 5s there. So Chris maintains his 1-point lead, 15-14 over Casey.
That postseason is right around the corner, and this is certainly one of those matchups that has that postseason feel, Bobby.
Yeah. You know, for any competitor, you want to kind of have these matches throughout the season because when it comes time for that double elimination tournament, you want to know what it feels like to go up against the best.
All right, let's do
Absolutely,
Casey
and you
forward.
want to know that feeling of getting tested, being pushed to the brink, and have that experience as you get ready for those postseason matchups.
Yeah, all the new faces that have joined the league have just been so impressive and add to what was already
right,
a
so
great
this is
group
your
of
fifth
competitors
row.
from the
Casey,
fall
you're at
league. So
18, Chris,
in this
you're at
winter
20.
league, we have no shortage of competitive matchups.
D'Onofrio leading this one
Casey
20-18.
4.
Couple of 4s there for D'Onofrio and 9s.
And we'll have
So
you switch
D'Onofrio
sides.
maintaining his 2-point advantage after the first half of this one.
Casey 22, Chris 24. All right, you can begin.
They'll switch sides and get set to go here for the second half. We'll see what the second half has in store. We've seen earlier, just switching sides can change
Casey
fortunes
5,
in a hurry,
Chris
Bobby.
Bullseye.
Yeah, things can change very quickly here on Battle Axe, but we've just seen Chris all throughout the year doing a great job of limiting his mistakes, and when he has a lead, he maintains it and builds on it, which we know is so important in this league.
And that's just what he's doing here, just 1 point at a time. He now leads by 3.
Chris 5, Casey 5.
And there is a 5 for 9s and a 5 for D'Onofrio. So 35-32 D'Onofrio with 3 throws to go.
Yeah, and when you have two competitors like with Chris and Casey who just really don't make a lot of mistakes, this 3-point advantage by Chris can seem like a 20-point
Casey
deficit
4,
for
Chris
Casey.
Bullseye.
Absolutely. Casey 9s is going to have to get hot, but we know he can get extra hot. We'll see if maybe he goes for a kill shot.
Right. I think, again, that's something you're going to be seeing as the league goes on because, again, pulling and positioning is going to be really important.
Chris
But
Bullseye.
when it comes down to that double elimination tournament, you
5.
got to win.
What a throw there from D'Onofrio, a bullseye,
All right, this
his
is your
fourth
last
of the
throw.
day.
Casey, you're at 41. Chris,
or
you're
the
at
match, I
47.
should say. He leads by 6 with 1 throw to go.
Yeah, just a really impressive showing here from Chris.
That's
Casey
going to
4,
do it.
Chris 4.
Chris D'Onofrio getting the victory over Casey 9s.
All right,
51-45,
Casey, you ended with
the
45.
final.
Chris, you won 51 points.
Well, we don't see a lot of 50s here this season on Battle Axe with the board and the rules getting a little harder, but that's exactly what Chris D'Onofrio does. He just put up a 51. Not only is Chris D'Onofrio somebody who belongs in this league, he is a legitimate contender, Bobby.
Yeah, it's really nice to see all the work that Chris is putting in, paying off for him at this point in the season. Nice job by Casey, 45, really solid score. But again, yeah, these are matchups that we're going to be seeing over and over again.
Can't wait for it, Bobby. Chris D'Onofrio improving to 12-2 on the season. Casey 9s dropping his record to 10-4. 6 matches in the books. 1 more still to go here on Battle Axe. Heather Gall is going to take on the defending champion, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw.
One of our classic matchups we have here in the league, Heather versus Matt. These two have history.
And as always, the Magic Man with some magical pants, Bobby.
He still is keeping his pants supplier a secret, so.
Matt 5.
We know he's always going to throw good, and he's going to
Heather
look good
5.
as well. Couple of 5s here to start this one for Gall and Bradshaw.
Yeah, Matt obviously 12-0 there. Great start to the season. Heather 5-7. Kind of a rough start for the season for Heather a little bit. So hopefully she can turn it around.
We certainly know she's capable of that. Heather the Hatchet throwing
Heather
a
4,
4
Matt
right
4.
there. It's a 4 for Matt Bradshaw. So after 2 throws, we're all tied up at 9.
We are. You can see Matt kind of shaking his head a little bit after that throw. He's a perfectionist, so he wants those 5s and 6s on every throw.
What a throw there from Heather the Hatchet. It looks like she
Heather bullseye,
drilled
Matt
that hatchet
4.
right into the bullseye.
Another one of those. She knew it was a bullseye the moment it left her hand.
So Heather the Hatchet Gall has a 2-point lead over the defending champ after 3 throws.
And Matt taking a deep breath, just trying to refocus, visualize the bullseye.
Heather 4, Matt 4.
Matt Bradshaw shaking his head
All
with
right, this is
disappointment.
gonna be your 5th throw. Matt, you're at 17.
It's a 4
Heather,
for
you're at
Gall and a
19.
4 for Bradshaw. Heather Gall has a 2-point lead after 4 throws.
Yeah, definitely a deficit Matt can overcome, but he knows that every throw is very important, so he has to start doing it right away.
And he
Heather
does right
4,
there.
Matt bullseye.
It's a bullseye for the Magic Man to tie this one up at 23. So Gall and Bradshaw will switch sides, and it's all going to come down to these final 5 throws.
Well, I bet if you would have told Heather at the turn she'd be tied with Matt Bradshaw, she'd take that all day long.
Yeah, you couldn't ask to be in a better position, and
Heather
she gets off to
bullseye.
a great start here on the back
four.
half. Another bullseye for Heather the Hatchet. She's got a 2-point lead once again, and now just 4 throws to go.
Yeah, again, so putting the pressure on Matt, forcing him to make the precise throw to get back in this game versus him being in the lead and kind of dictating the game flow.
Heather 4, Matt 4.
So a couple of 4s for Gall and Bradshaw. And Heather Gall has the defending champion up against the ropes here. A 2-point lead with just 3 throws to go.
And again, Matt just unable to capitalize on Heather throwing a 4. And last year during the tournament, we saw Heather started
4,
outweighting
Matt 5.
Matt Bradshaw. So Matt likes to wait for his opponent to throw, but Heather and him got into a little bit of a standoff during the tournament. So I'm wondering if that's affected Matt when he plays Heather.
Yeah, you can't help but wonder. Matt Bradshaw lands a 5 there to Heather Gall's 4. So now it's a 1-point game, just 2 throws to go. 4 there for Heather Gall. We'll see how Bradshaw responds.
Heather 4, Matt 4.
It's a 4.
It's a 4 there, but you could see
All right, this is
Heather
your
was
final
a
throw.
little
Matt,
disappointed.
you're at
She knows
40.
4s are
Heather,
not
you're
going to
at
win this
41.
game.
So she's got a 1-point lead and a chance to take down a juggernaut here on this throw.
You can see the focus intensity there, taking a deep breath before the throw.
It's a 4 for Heather Gall.
Oh, and a bullseye for
Matt
Matt.
bullseye. Heather 5.
It's a 5 for Gall and a bullseye for
So that's a
Bradshaw.
tie
So
for
we are
six.
going to sudden death, Bobby.
There we go, and you see the intensity there from Heather. Again,
Heather.
if you would have told her that she'd be tied with Matt in their 10th throw, she'd take it all day long.
Heather the Hatchet Gall is fired up.
All right, closest to the bullseye.
That's great. So just a clutch throw there by Matt, though, to
Closest
send
to
this
the
thing
kill
into
shot.
sudden death.
And of course, sudden death all comes down to a kill shot. Whoever can get closer will win.
There you can see she's waiting him out. Oh, and a good throw there by Matt. Not hitting the kill shot, but very close to it.
Looks like Matt Bradshaw is going to win this one in sudden death.
Just heartbreak for Heather Gall.
And he does. Matt Bradshaw surviving a scare. Well, what a thriller this was. What a way to finish week 4 here, Bobby. Matt Bradshaw getting everything he can handle from Heather Gall. He comes out on top in sudden death.
Yeah, just a great performance by Heather. She was in control of this game the entire time. Matt was doing everything he could to catch up, and he did there at the very end, but just a great throw by Matt on the 10th throw to force a sudden death, and just a great job by Heather.
Yeah, not the final result that Heather Gall would have hoped for, but this certainly one of those results that you can build off of as we get set for the postseason here in just a few weeks. We're going to throw it down now to Matt Bradshaw on this thrilling matchup.
I have no idea what happened. I just could not get in a rhythm. I was practicing no more than 5 minutes ago, and I was in my rhythm. And then once you get on the lights and get the camera crew in there, things start playing with your head, and it got to me. I just tried to change things on the fly, and it just wasn't clicking. So I escaped with my life on that one.
Well, the bright lights of Battle Axe getting to Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw here in week 4, but the defending champion survives a big-time scare to keep his perfect record intact. Matt Bradshaw now 16-0 on the season. He's averaging more than 51 points per game, Bobby.
Yeah, the defending champ just still incredibly impressive, 16-0. Getting tested a little bit here this week, but again, able to come out. But as you can see on this list here, we have a number of really good competitors. Everyone's very close, so it should be a great Week 8 tournament.
Yeah, it's not that Matt Bradshaw isn't performing at a very high level. He certainly is. I think it says a lot about just how many talented competitors there are in this league. You take a look at this leaderboard, you don't even see the name of Heather Gall, who just took the defending champion to sudden death.
Yeah, as we've seen, Chris D'Onofrio had a really great week. You see him there at 10-2, averaging 48.8 points a week. So it's just really, really competitive group of people and makes for really interesting matches.
We've still got 3 weeks left to go, and then, of course, the double elimination postseason tournament. It should be thrilling, and we can't wait. That's going to do it here for week 4 of Battle Axe for the entire MC22 crew. This is Joey Danya signing off from the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa. We'll see you next time here on Battle Axe.